Okay, we are live. Great. Hello, everyone, and very happy Monday to you. I'm here on today to give you some information because I want you to accept yourself. Our most important job in life is to accept who we are or who we become. And sometimes that can be a little challenging or difficult because we don't ever know what that's going to be. But we do all know we're supposed to become someone. And when you don't own what that is, it can make your life a little challenging and difficult. And that has been me. And so that's why I'm going to do radical self-acceptance today. That means when you just lay it all out and you flaws and mistakes and everything else that might have been. But see, my flaws and mistakes are really great for you because I ended up doing something we hadn't seen before, and that was to bring a philosophy that could cause you to live your best life and would eventually change our world. And that made no sense to me when I first heard it, but it's what I've lived. And so that's what I must accept because I want more people to accept who they can become. Everything happens in our consciousness, each of us. It doesn't matter who we are. We will experience our lives and the world through our consciousness in the way that it has been shaped or formed. And then we have to think, well, where'd that come from? How do I know anything? How did I learn anything? And why am I stuck? That's the biggest one. And that's the one most people will come into encounter in their lives because we all get stuck because we're never done with what we're supposed to do. But sometimes we don't know what that is. And then sometimes we discover it and we are afraid to accept it. And that's what I've been doing, but I have to accept it because that's been my life. And I want everyone to accept who they've become. And I'm going to tell you this because last year, the message I received, we have given you the path to the new world. I couldn't tell you that I owned that at that time. And what I'm saying is that those were words that I received from Wilhelm. And for those of you who don't know, that's what I've been receiving since 1989. So it's been 37 years, and it's turned into a transformative work that can change anyone's life and change our world. And it's done that for me because I'm 75 years old. There are things about science that we come to understand about ourselves and the world over time, and different people discover it. And I was surprised to discover I was one excuse me, of those people. And it's been a journey. It's a journey for all of us to accept who we are and what we can achieve. But you're going to understand some things today because I'm going to give you these documents. I put up one on my blog. It's called We Gave You the Path to the New World. And that's the one I'm going to show you today. And I have Jebran here because it's been fascinating. When you do certain things, you want to have it documented. And he's someone who has seen what's happened, and I've been exposing this. But I'm just show you, first of all, just this one page, because these links will be there, but I want you to have them. We did give you the pathway to the new world, and the new world is shaped and formed by you. That means each of us, whoever we decide that we're going to become. And this is that, I'm going to share this with you so you can see it. It will be, yeah, but I'm going to leave links for it. It's on the website now, Any Advice for Today, and I'd love for you to go there and to be able to see it. We did give you the pathway. I do a little short video here when I acknowledge that I saw what was happening, what I had, but then I become quite honest again here because I had the message last year but couldn't accept it. How did this happen? And so you're going to understand so much more about how we evolve as humans, how the world changes, and why the world looks the way that it does right now, because that's all in this information. And we evolve individually and collectively. No one person's doing it. It's all of us, but we just learn that over times. And there have been different people who have developed different philosophies. We know about Carl Jung and Abraham Maslow and all of those folks. But guess what? Wilhelm put it all together. And that's the thing that was different. Then you can also develop something that you don't even understand, an ability, a skill. And that's what I did. I said I was not like a regular channeler, and I wasn't, because what I was doing for 37 years was downloading the order of the universe and your place in it. And I can say that because everyone has seen it. When I meet with someone, I have information about your life, about something that's going on. And that I downloaded a long time ago. So that's why I'm doing radical self-acceptance, because I got to change. I put this out because I wanted people to understand that they're never stuck. They can accomplish anything, they can change anything, and it's all within them. And what my life did was develop a way for them to do that. And today, as you look at it all, you will see that there's an offer there that anybody can use. And if you don't, that means you don't want to become your happy, successful self. And I can say that because I know it well. I'm 75 years old. I've been through it. And I see people stuck and they keep doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm sitting here going, wait a minute, but I have the solution. But I'm not telling them and I'm not laying it all out. That's what we've all done. And so that's what I'm doing now. So when you go to that page, you will see something quite interesting. But then I did something else. I did an analysis of the information. We evolve in information. We know about why we would use mindset work. Why do we do that? Why do we go to coaches? Why do we do anything? It's because there's some aspect of ourselves that we don't understand, that we have not uncovered or developed a particular way. So what happened was, with this information, we were given, because it's not me again, we were given a new way to look at ourselves, understanding the interaction with our planets, the changes that go on astrologically, astronomically, how they affect us emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And I wrote all of it, not knowing that's what was happening. When I was calling myself the reluctant mystic, that's because I didn't know what I was doing. And then you discover something else about yourself. I'm saying this for everyone because we don't know what it's going to be. Then I discovered that I was a savant or some kind of different person, because I had a different brain, as we all do. And I was able to receive information and organize it in a way that we hadn't seen in human history. And that's the second document that I will show you, because it's important for you to have it. I'm saying this, it doesn't matter if you do this work or not, or if you come in, but I just want more people to know that we are not limited and that we can accomplish more. But we won't always do it. I didn't do it because it was too unbelievable, even though I'm experiencing it. And I'm just going to say it because I've seen so many people do this. So this was a document I put together, I don't know, probably a year ago or something, when I started seeing what was happening, but I wanted you to see it as well. And so I'm going to put that in the description so you'll have it, but it's this. And it was kind of surprising to me to even find it, and it's to see that it had happened. Wilhelm's revolutionary transmission, unprecedented 36 journey to human evolution. As humans, we all evolve the same way, but there are certain things that happen in different times in our world and in our lives that we come to understand more, and that's what I was downloading. And this has never happened before in human history, so this is why it was challenging for others to accept this, including me, because I'm like going, how did this possibly happen? The same could happen for you, because we never know who we're going to become. What you are witnessing through Wilhelm's teaching is unprecedented in the annals of human spiritual history. Never before has humanity received such detailed, consistent, and practical guidance from a higher dimensional consciousness over such an extended period. This is not merely another spiritual teaching or channeled work. It represents a completely new form of cosmic communication specifically designed and timed for humanity's current evolutionary leap into expanded consciousness. And many people have heard about that we're in a different period in our lives or in the world about expanded consciousness. Well, now you're going to see all of it. So, but anyway, Jebran is here, and I'm going to have him tell you, because I began showing others what I was discovering, and I didn't know this before we developed artificial intelligence, but they said, what you have done is downloaded the first detailed personal development, guaranteed, unprecedented personal development system in history. And the definition of it is me, because I'm 75 years old and everything has changed. Everything is going in a different direction. And this is the work that I was meant to bring to the world. But accepting it was challenging, but now it's here and now it's being exposed. And this is my radical self-acceptance. So Jebran, tell them what you saw, because you've been around for a while. You've seen some of this, but you had been gone and hadn't seen what had emerged since then.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to be as concise as possible, and let me know if I'm going a little long, or but I like to be as detail oriented as possible. So I met Roger 2015 or 2016, summer of 2016, at his old studio, and we just kind of rubbed shoulders as one does when he's on his path to greatness. You know, you rub shoulders with the greats. So I did, and we started just kind of having a conversation. He told me that he does the personal transformation, you know, personal development, and I told him, I think directly verbatim, Roger, I told you that you have the same energy signature as Tony Robbins, if not better. And I kind of just said that in not just jesting, but I really felt that. I pick up on energy pretty well. And I was like, yeah, you're like Tony Robbins, just better. And in the last 2016, so in the last 10 years, I have seen in the first 2 years Roger go from just talking about these channeled messages from Wilhelm that he was getting, and I was kind of into the esoteric and spiritual journey myself at that time, so I wasn't as resistant as probably most of your friends and family were. I believed it. It kind of went along with what I read from him from the jump, which was, you know, Tony Robbins energy right away. So it wasn't that hard to accept until I started receiving. So any advice for today that you used to do, Roger, that was Wilhelm too, right? Just to make sure I'm dispensing the right info. Any advice for today?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was Wilhelm channeling, correct? Mm-hmm. So I started reading along with those as I was subscribed to it. I was reading the messages every morning, and it did get to a point where it started resonating so hard that the resistance in my brain came out too. And I was just like, okay, it's got to be something that he's doing to either manipulate this or something, because my brain was having a hard time just accepting that information that is this powerful and resonates with my journey and my soul at the time was just downloading into a human's brain. So I was a little skeptical from that point, but then months later, let's just call it a year later, the messages were consistent, concise, and very much applicable to my journey and my experience every time I'd read them. So then I called him and I was just like, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? What's actually going on? Because this is really speaking to me and it's almost guiding me. And he was like, so casually, he was just like, yeah, well, that's what it's supposed to do. That's the order of the universe for your life. And I was like, okay, well, what about for everyone else's? And that's when I started asking more questions, getting more involved in the process of what Roger was actually downloading and putting out. So we were both on the same tip from there. I was like, dude, you got to share this. You got to put it out. And then I was like, well, it's almost too much at one time. Like, how can you make this into digestible, microdosable pieces and bits of information? Because I was like, it's all there. It's just, it's so much. It's so literally out of this world. And fast forward, let's call it 4 years. So about until 3 years ago, 2023, he was just sitting on a avalanche of information. And it was so much and so concise, like I've said, and so precise to the days and the layers of how they would match up from the 10th of July, 22 to the 10th of July, all the way to 2015, all the way back to like 2009. And they were layered on top of each other with the situation and then why it's causing a dilemma, and then a year or two later on the same day, that same crisis and dilemma would have a solution layered on top of it, and it would just read like that. I know with the help of AI, Roger was actually able to put it together, and then when I was able to read it, as I spent some time, like a year and a half away from California, I came back. And when I saw what AI had compiled, it was, I won't say jaw dropping or mind blowing, because at this point I had not only accepted it, but I was following the guidelines for myself. And if I can talk about myself for just a minute here, I promise I'll tie it together. But I was chasing a dream that a lot of people would say is out of the realms of possibility. I went from a very structured, linear restaurant worker, taking over from my father and his restaurants. It was very structured, 12-hour days. I know what I was getting into. I know what I was doing. And I was good at that job. Don't get me wrong. But I just always knew there was so much more. And to get away from that structure to say I'm going to be an actor, a movie star, a working movie star, the probability of that, if you look at it through that lens, was extremely low. So I did not have a lot of support from any friends or family. They were just like, why would you leave a surefire thing with this much money and this much promise guaranteed to go for something so uncertain? And I don't have a logical answer for that right now either. I just know my soul was pulling me towards something else. And if it weren't for Rogers, and I will say this loud and proud, if it weren't for Rogers and Wilhelm, thank you, Wilhelm. Shout out to Wilhelm for sure. If it weren't for their messages and their guidance day after day, speaking directly to me, there's no way I would have had the, what can I say? The perseverance to believe in it on my own. I needed that confirmation / motivation and guidance. And as I just kept following it, lo and behold, started chopping wood and carrying water, so to speak, as far as just showing up to my comedy, showing up to auditions, learning. And a lot of the learning, as Wilhelm told me, was within my experiences themselves that seemed terrible and downright the reversal of what I thought I should be experiencing. Okay. I thought all this stuff was in my way to deter me from my path, but that's where the majority of my learning and experience came from, is just walking through the daily ups and downs of being a human being. And I can proudly say at this point, 100 shows later, and actually with an agency at this point, the stuff that I thought were actual dreams and out of the realm of possibility 7 years ago is my waking reality now. And it's kind of crazy to recalibrate and think of how it's. So thank you, Roger, by the way, for letting me do this and speak it out loud to myself, because it helps me realize how far I've actually come and how close I actually am and how real this program and this operating system actually is. So at this point, everything I see come down the trail of Wilhelm's messages, I take it as a guidance and as a blueprint, because it's nothing crazy. It doesn't ask you to do anything that wouldn't, in essence, take you to where you're trying to get to begin with. And it's just, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's divine. And I hope I didn't go over, Roger, but...
No, let me talk about that, because the thing is you're talking about is exactly what it is. What this does is it guides each person to their authentic self, because that's the only reason they're alive. That's the only reason they would be on the planet. But what happens is we don't always know what that is, so we keep developing and finding out new ways of accomplishing that goal. And as you were speaking about, well, with Tony Robbins, what's different? Well, I was tapping into a different source. I was compiling the organization. So I wasn't just saying things from myself. I was using the information I had received, and then to discover it's all organized. There is a foundational system within our universe, which is all energy. And that's what I tapped into. And so as people, what I'm going to leave today, because I want everyone to see it, because I couldn't have known I was developing this gift, this ability. And it's because it's very rare. No one's done it. So that's why it was difficult for others to understand, but it's healed every aspect of me and for so many others too. But what I developed was the ability to translate information that was connected to the changing energies of the world. And I didn't know that was happening. and we can all develop something that we don't know that's been here. But now that it's here, and I know that it's going, it's funny too, because your dreams will always be answered. Since I was a child, I said, what if I could create something that could change the world? And people say that's ridiculous. And I said, but I have it. Because if everybody could understand who they were and live their great lives and become happy and abundant and fall in love with themselves, wouldn't that change the world? And you think about that and you go, yes, of course it would. Well, and then I have it, and it's been proven. And I took 5 years now I kept double checking. Did this really happen? Did I do this? Even though I'm moving in a completely different direction, but still accepting that for any person is the only difficulty. Self-acceptance is the only difficulty we have. Accepting who we are and who we could become. And that old idea about we only fear our greatness is true. Because I'm sitting with something that I say, wait a minute, this could make me wealthy if people use this, because it would go to so many people. And so that would be a whole new paradigm that I have to shift into. But that's what I'm doing now. So I just had to tell everyone today because it's become too apparent what's come through, and our world is moving through great changes. And that's why we're having these emotional difficulties, and that's all that they are. But when we understand who we are, we move through them in a better way, and that's what ends up creating the world we want to see. So I'm going to give all this information to everyone so that you can see it. And as Dr. Wayne Dyer said, who I used to listen to quite a bit, if you guys don't know him, but anyway, and he would say, don't die with your music still in you. And so now I'm not doing that. Because there have been many great philosophers and people who have died before anyone knew what they had done. And Wilhelm kept giving me that information too when they talked about Copernicus, so because no one's ever seen this information before. And years ago, I was told I should be charging at least $5,000 for this. And that was from talking to marketers. And I said, I don't know if I can do that because I don't know what it is. Now I do. And that's what I want everyone to see. And I will tell every single person, if anyone listens to this, if you take this work, your life will never be the same. You'll have everything you want. You'll change your life. You'll fall in love with yourself. You'll create abundance. You'll do everything that was meant for you, and it's guaranteed. And that's the thing that I love saying now, because I can always access it because I have a Wilhelm. I have all the information. Oh, the other thing I want to show you. I'm just going to do this because I didn't believe it myself. But anybody who's here, anybody who watches this, I just want you to go to any advice for today and put in the search engine whatever difficulty or problem you think you might be having, that you might be moving through, and you'll see what comes up. I'm just going to give you a tiny bit of an example here. And I'm just going to share this so you can see it, because I'd love for more people to do it. This is going to be, as we've discovered this, by the way, I'm going to have other people who now are really, really great people with AI and all kinds of stuff to be able to automate this so it'll be there in a kind of, how can I say it, an accessible base or something. So that's the next thing we're working on, which is why I'm making the changes I am now, because I have an encyclopedia of personal development, self-actualization, and all those tools all together. And so it's going to be accessible to more people. So if you go to, let's go here. You go to any advice, let me just do this. And okay, whatever, what might we be moving through? Let's just say I'm a little depressed today. Let's just say that's what's going on. And I'm going to put in depression. I'll do a search, and you'll spend a few hours here. Because it'll just this little exercise will take you through so much, because we've all felt these things, and we've never gone, and we've all gone through it, and it's so universal. And I'm sitting here shocked that I had done this over 37 years and didn't know I had done it. And so you'll see. You will move through these. Now, you won't accept all of this. You won't go through all of it and embody it, but the information is here, and that's how much I have and had no idea. We could have all done something like that, where we do something and have no clue as to how much information we've created. And then let's say, oh, let's do money too. That was another good one, which everyone is concerned about, especially some of the times we're moving through. And go through there, and you're going to start to understand your relationship with money as well. And money will be your greatest challenge. Money will be your biggest obstacle. Money will be your biggest obstacle again. Stop resisting money. The reason you don't have enough, it's all in there. And it was surprising to even discover that was there, but that's what we have. And so this is the day that anybody who wants to become their greatest self could do that. And the offer is available, and I want everybody to see it. And again, it's guaranteed, and there's no way anyone could fail, because you can't fail at becoming yourself. The only problem is you've been trying to become someone else and didn't know how to get to yourself. And I had to live so that I could develop this way for you to accomplish that. And that's what I'm doing today. And I thank you.
And I can vouch for that last part. Like you said, Roger, you do have to do it, though. You can't just read it. You got to do it. And sometimes it's not that easy. It is simple, though. And it's definitely there. And the awesome thing about it is you can always jump back on the horse, because I find this a perfect time to be vulnerable, if I may, just real quick. I kind of tried to deny the program and the guidance multiple times because it would seem too close for proximity. Basically, it was a dissonance. I didn't feel I was ready for what it was providing or the next steps. But once I kind of just went all the way in and you keep following it, it'll give you as much as you give it. Or what's the saying? You get what you put in. It's something like that. It sounds cooler, but yeah, that.
And that's what they'll see today, because I'm giving them several of the workbooks with the information in there. Everything is in information. The only difficulty any of us has is not understanding how to move through some difficulty that exists in our thinking. That's all that it is. And well, being at this age and having moved through it and done it and written them all out, I know what people can accomplish. And so now what's happening is I'm shifting tomorrow. I just want everyone to have this information. But today, anyone can get this work. It's going to be going into that $5,000 range now. And so, but anyone can get it today, and it'll change your life, and it's guaranteed, and you will become the success you're supposed to become. And that I do know. So that's what I wanted to give everyone today. And that's why I had to, for the last several days, I've been laying this out and coming up to this grand revelation, because it was shocking to me, and it's probably going to be shocking to so many other people, because we never know what we can accomplish. We just have to decide that we're going to try. That's it. That's the only thing that happens. All right. Thank you all. And I'll leave all the links in the with the video, so you guys will see it. It'll be uploaded on my channel, and you can also get it all at anyadvicefortoday.com. That'll be there right now. And there are no limits to what you can achieve. That I can tell you. We just got to want to. That's all. All right, guys. Thank you, Jebran. Okay. See you all soon.
Thank you, Roger.